to the 2020 Global Cities Tournament here on GeoBrax. This is episode number 6. It's the first episode of the third round, and we're going to begin in the first quadrant. I am joined here today, of course, by the master of the draw himself. And yes, indeed, he is still not a robot. The first matchup, the third round, is number 1, New York City, United States, versus number 55, Johannesburg, South Africa. What is the first category of the third round, please?
Tallest building.
You'd like the odds of New York City to win this type of category, and they will. The One World Trade Center stands at 541 meters tall and has 104 floors. Tallest building in Johannesburg is the Leonardo at 55 floors, 234 meters. That's 1-0 to New York City. Second category, please.
Crime index.
Neither one of these cities particularly highly regarded in this aspect. 46.98 for New York City. Somewhat respectable. Johannesburg is 80.54. That might just be 3 worst in the world. 2-0 in New York City. Do they sweep?
Highest elevation.
The highest elevation in New York City is 10 meters. In Johannesburg, it is 1,753 meters. They bring it to 1-2. Is this going 5?
Public transportation usage.
This is not going 5. Public transportation usage in Johannesburg is a paltry 1.1%. New York City, pretty good, especially for North American standards. 47.89% of people taking the bus and the train to work and school. That is a 3-1 victory for the number 1 overall seed. They are the first team into the 4th round. Walking into the next matchup, number 35, Osaka, Japan, versus number 102, Chongqing, China. The all-Asian matchup here. The third round. First category is
Traffic index.
Traffic index of Chongqing, 172.84. Pretty run-of-the-mill. Osaka, 72.82. Very light traffic. Very 1-0 lead. Second category, please.
Largest urban park.
The largest urban park is the Osaka Castle Park. Maybe one of the parks with the most photos taken of it per year. It is 261 acres. The largest urban park in Chongqing is Chongqing Central Park. 378 acres. We're tied at 1. Third category, please.
Purchasing power.
Those who live in Osaka, Japan have a 47.4% higher purchasing power than those living in Chongqing, and they also have a 2-1 lead in this matchup. Do they finish it in full?
Largest stadium.
The largest stadium in Chongqing is the Chongqing Olympic Sports Center. It seats 58,680. Is that enough to defeat the Yanmar Stadium, Nagai? It is. 47,000 is less than what Chongqing can give you. We're tied at 2. We're going to a 5th and deciding category.
Best flag.
Master Draw has thrown it in to me to end this matchup. You see here, there is no city flag. There's really no historical city flag for Chongqing. It's just a very boring university logo. Whereas the flag of Osaka is a pretty nice, stylized, 2-colored flag. They're taking it. Osaka in 5. Moving on to the 4th round. Continuing the third round. In quadrant 1, we have the number 17 overall seed, Seoul, South Korea, versus number 45 overall, Seattle, United States. How do we start this one off?
Largest urban park.
That seems to be good news for the American Northwest. Discovery Park, 234 acres. Oh, remember when South Korea hosted the World Cup in 2002 and they created the World Cup Park, which is 857 acres large? Well, you do now. 1-0 to Seoul. Second category, please.
Largest stadium.
Remember when Seoul hosted the Olympics in 1988 and they had the Seoul Olympic Stadium, which now seats 69,950? The largest stadium in Seattle is now known as Lumen Field, formerly known as Quest Field, formerly known as CenturyLink. That seats officially 68,740, but the largest ever attendance was 69,274, which still about 600 or so less than Seoul. So Seoul takes a 2-0 lead. Can they sweep?
International visitors.
Seattle receives about 38 million visitors a year. Problem is 93% of those are Americans. So about 2.8 million international visitors to Seattle on a yearly basis. It's 8.4 million to Seoul. They have swept their way to the 4th round. We have the next matchup here in the 3rd round. It is the wild card. Hanoi, Vietnam against the number 16 overall seeded Madrid, Spain. First category, please.
Largest urban park.
This one is a massive blowout through no fault of Hanoi. Yenso Park, 798 acres, would usually win, but Casa de Campo, 4,257 acres, I believe, is the largest urban park in all of continental Europe. It's a 1-0 lead to Madrid. Second category, please.
Population.
Population of Madrid, 3.2 million. Hanoi, 4.9 million. We're tied at 1. Who's going to take the 2-1 lead?
Best skyline.
Taking a look at the skyline of Hanoi, it's a lot of lakefront property, but not a lot of height. We look at Madrid, they have the older skyline with the 2 buildings angling toward each other across the street. The new skyline has about 5 buildings, but one of them looks like a USB port, and they're stylish, they're new. They're winning the category. Madrid up to 2-1. 4th category, please.
Largest stadium.
The largest stadium in Madrid is home to Real Madrid. Santiago Bernabeu seats 81,044. Largest stadium in Hanoi is the Mỹ National Stadium, seats 40,192. Madrid in 4 to the 4th round. You're gonna get used to it. Another all-Asian matchup here in the 3rd round. Number 82 overall, Hangzhou, China against the capital largest city of Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, KL. First category is
Largest stadium.
the largest stadium in Hangzhou is 80,000. It's the Hangzhou Sports Park Stadium. That should win the oh wait, Bukit Jalil National Stadium in KL seats 87,411. That's a 1-0 lead to KL. Can they extend it to 2?
International visitors.
Oh yes, they can. 13.4 million international visitors to KL. About 900,000 for Hangzhou. 2-0. Can KL sweep?
Traffic index.
Traffic index of KL, 194.27. Hangzhou, 139.13. Can they take it to 5?
Crime index.
They can take it to 5. Crime index is maybe the lowest ever, 19.61 in Hangzhou. 64.47 is surprisingly high for KL. And Hangzhou is looking to complete the 0-2 comeback. Can they do it? What's the final category?
Public transportation usage.
They have a monorail, they have buses, they have trains. KL has it all, except for the ridership, apparently. 11.26%. Hangzhou, about 27.3%. That's an 0-2 comeback. Hangzhou to the fourth round. Is this the marquee matchup of the entire third round? Some would say so. Number 34, Istanbul, Turkey against the 23 seed Amsterdam, Netherlands. First category, Mr. Master of the Draw.
Purchasing power.
Those living in Amsterdam have 174% higher purchasing power than those in Istanbul. That's a 1-0 lead to the seed. Can they keep it rolling?
Tallest building.
The tallest building in Amsterdam is only 36 floors. It's the Rembrandtoren, 135 meters. Surprisingly low. The Metropole Istanbul Tower 1 has 70 floors. It's 280 meters tall. We are now tied at 1 apiece. What's the third category?
Cost of living.
If you had $1,680 worth of goods in Istanbul, it would have cost you $5,000 in Amsterdam. That means it is cheaper to live in Istanbul, and they're up 2-1. Can they finish it here in 4?
Highest elevation.
The master of the draw just sunk. Amsterdam, their highest elevation is actually -2 meters. That's how below sea level they are. 537 in Istanbul. That is a positive number. That is a 3-1 victory. That is a fourth round matchup with Hangzhou. Then we're back here with more third round action featuring the wild card. Auckland, New Zealand against 86 overall. Nanjing, China, two teams that were not foreseen to get this far. First category, please.
Annual rainfall.
The annual rainfall of Nanjing is 1,001 millimeters. Pretty impressive. Auckland, North Island, 1,158 millimeters. It's a 1-0 lead to Auckland. Can they keep it going?
Public transportation usage.
19.58% of Aucklanders using public transportation to get to work and to school. It's more like 33.4% out there in Nanjing. And that's just with the train. 1-1 draw. Who's going to edge ahead?
Largest stadium.
We have a stadium that will host Rugby World Cup Finals, Eden Park. 50,000. However, the Nanjing Olympic Sports Center seats 61,443. That's a 2-1 lead for the Chinese city. Do they advance on the next category?
Cost of living.
If you had $3,431 in Nanjing, it would have taken you $7,500 to buy the same amount of goods in Auckland, which means cost of living is lower in Nanjing, which means they're moving on with a 3-1 victory to the fourth round. Looks like we're in the final matchup here in the first quadrants. We will close out episode number 6 with number 123 Pune, India against the number 6 overall seed Hong Kong. First category, please, Mr. Master of the Draw.
Traffic index.
Traffic index in Pune is 189.35. Hong Kong, 145.69. That's lower. That's a 1-0 lead to Hong Kong. Second category, please.
Gross domestic product.
This is not going to be close. Hong Kong, 341.3 billion GDP. 69 billion for Pune. Respectable. But you gotta respect the fact that you're down 2-0. Does Hong Kong get the sweep?
Cost of living.
Oh, they absolutely do not get the sweep. No. If I had to pay $4,900 to buy goods in Hong Kong, those same goods would have cost me $1,146 in Pune. They bring it back to 2-1. Can they take it to 5?
Tallest building.
The tallest building in Pune is only 150 meters tall. They are jointly the Amanora Gateway Towers 1 and 2, 45 floors. Tallest building in Hong Kong is 484 meters, 118 floors. That is the International Commerce Center. That is a 3-1 victory. That is Hong Kong moving to the 4th round. Well, guys, that was episode 6. The episodes are getting shorter. You're not going crazy. So, if you want to follow along with the tournament, you can check us out on our Discord. And if you want to keep up to date on the YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. It won't hurt you. Yet.